we haven't actually had a chance to play this week, so although I have actually done solo testing stuff a fair bit, we have not physically played this game in a bit, so I don't know how this one's gonna go, but there's a lot of really cool cards in this set, so let's just go over the stuff. We're in Dragon, the third set of the Ruby Sapphire era, the middle of our rotation actually. We've got two sets before we get rid of the Wizards of the Coast cards for good. And there's a lot of really neat stuff in this set. Obviously, the dragons take center stage. We've got a couple of different types of dragon here, if you will. They're all colorless Pokemon, except Kingdra, because, you know, Kingdra's water. But they follow like one of two trends. Either they are completely colorless and like the Dratini Dragonair that we saw in Expedition, they have no weakness and no resistance, like this. Or the holo versions of them actually are weak to colorless, but have two resistances as well. One to fighting and one that's a little bit closer to the resistances of the Pokemon itself. So Flygon, being a ground type, is weak to lightning. Not weak to it, resistant to it. Salamence is resistant to fire, I guess because it's partly red. I don't know. It's one of the only resistances to fire in the entire TCG, actually. It basically never happens, so that's kind of intriguing. And then, say, Altaria is resistant to grass. I guess Dragon Flying is like 4 times that way. I'm not really sure. Probably the coolest one is that Rayquaza is resistant to water, because this makes it resistant to both Groudon and Kyogre, so thematically it is very fitting. Anyway, yeah, we got a lot of stuff to go over with this set. We'll start with the EXs because these are probably the overall strongest cards that we can look at here. Ampharos, only one Ampharos in the entire, 4 or 5 of us that pulled these. We only got one, so we're never going to get to see this, unfortunately. It's got the same sort of power as Dark Ampharos did, so you put damage counters on stuff when energy gets attached from the hand. So very good against some decks, especially brutal against Swampert. But yeah, we're never going to get to see it, unfortunately. Dragonite is a little bit below the power curve. Everything is really good about this card until you actually read the attacks. The first one is fine, but it doesn't deal with the other EXs very well. But its power lets it absorb energy from anywhere on your field, which is pretty good. Dragon Wave, you've got to discard specifically a water and a lightning energy card. You do have to discard 2 energy for this, 2 cards. But it does 70 for 2, which is solid. It just doesn't beat other 150 HP dudes, so it can't deal with the tank decks very well. Giant Tail is very risky. 120 is enough to KO everything that isn't a Stage 2 EX or Wailord, but it's just a little bit hard to justify the coin flip for. Golem, as much as I wanted to consider this, it's really not remotely strong enough right now. I think there are ways that you could make this good enough, but even then, 120 is not quite amazing for 5 energy here. Does 50 to itself as well. Magnitude does do a ton of damage to everything, so it gets a bit rough. Also, 2 weaknesses, 5 retreat cost. Yeah, not strong enough. Kingdra is one we are going to see from Leo this week, and I did trade for these last second, but it was too late for me to actually build the deck on it. Genetic Memory is the same as what we had in Neo Revelation. This attack is still extremely good. We have a Seadra, if we break up here real quick, we have a Seadra that snipes 30, guaranteed, so that is exceptional. And there's even a Horsey that lets you potentially do rage type damage if you flip heads, so it's a risk, but if you've got 80 damage on you or something, you can do that for 1 energy. Really strong. However, this one's also got a very good second attack as well, much more applicable. Hydro Cannon is just 50 base. It can be used for a boost energy if you just have it out of nowhere, but you can add a couple of extra waters to this to do 90 in total. 70 for 4, 90 for 5. 90 for 5 is expensive but good, and boost energy can surprise knockout with this, so very, very powerful card. Latias is a little bit more interesting than Latios. It's resistant to Psychic, which is cool. Latios is only resistant to Grass because it's lame. Both of them have a 10 damage attack that has a coin flip thing on it. This one puts to sleep, this gets a basic energy out of the discard onto itself, which is really good, but Both of them also have a heavy discard on their second attack. 100 damage is immense and is definitely good enough to see play here, but you have to discard specifically a fire and a water from the Latias, whereas you have to discard 3 energy in total from the Latios. Latios is unfortunately a little bit too weak here because it takes too many energy and also doesn't have acceleration types going for it. Latias can pair with Blaziken or Swampert and do pretty well. We have another thing in mind that we're going to use this for today. So, also 90 HP might actually be more relevant in Hidden Legends where Desert Ruins comes in, but we'll get to that. Magneton, I think, is a very powerful card. We might see Matt play this because he is playing Blaziken and has 2 of it. It's very reminiscent of the Magneton that I played with Entei. You discard the top card of your deck, and if it's a basic energy, it goes onto the Magneton to power up Lava Flow, which is exactly the same as the Lava Flow that I used, except it takes 1 less colored energy. It's colorless on that instead, and you discard any basic energy, not fire specifically. So you could use this with Swampert as a really good example, as a fun example to be honest, where you accelerate water energy onto this thing, and then discard the waters and you'll do 80 if you've got like 2 of them in play. Very cool. Muck unfortunately does come back here. Leo has 1, I have 2, Matt has 3. Matt could play it but is very unlikely to because it's not a top tier meta deck. Therefore he is not interested. That sounds harsh, but it's completely true, I'm afraid. Toxic Gas is the same as it was before. You ignore every Pokepower or Pokebody that isn't itself, but it has to be active this time. And its attacks are only okay. 10 plus auto poison for 1 grass, 2 grass and a water averages at 60 because most things have got a 2 energy retreat cost here. But yeah, that's not amazing for a 100 HP 2 prize dude. Warp Point also gets it out the active, so if you don't have double Muck, then your opponent can turn the stuff back on. And then the star of this show is Rayquaza. Rayquaza, this is the first instance of it, but it very often has this kind of thing, especially on its multi-prize dudes. Dragon Burst is incredible. You either discard all the fire or all the lightning that's on it, you need at least 1 of each to use the attack, and for every energy you discard, you do 40 damage. We're going to consistently get this to do 80 every turn, potentially 120 if I use multi-energy too, because unlike a lot of these, it doesn't have to discard basic energy. Its first attack is also passable in a pinch. If you flip any amount of heads, you can get basic energies out of the discard and attach it to itself, so next turn it can get powered up. Pretty neat. The other cool stuff here, there are secret rares for the Charizard line. These are actually pretty strong, but they are 1 per box average, so none of us got nearly enough of these to make it work. I have the Charmeleon and the Charizard. I think Leo had the Charmander. Charmander's Rage is really good with Memory Berries, so that could have been pretty neat, but whatever, nothing too fancy. So then moving on, we might as well talk about the trainers because we are down the bottom here. There's a couple of really good ones. TV Reporter is fantastic for this set. This gets outclassed when Steven's Advice comes in, but you just draw 3 cards, then discard 1 from the hand. Draw 3 nowadays is not strong enough. Technically, draw 3 wouldn't really be strong enough here either, except that discard lets you play with a lot of synergies that way. You can use this to, say, discard energy so that you can play Blaziken. You don't have to discard preemptively, so you don't run into the fact of Juggler, say, with no energy in hand. You just draw, and then if you draw the energy, you can discard it. You can discard Pokemon if you wanted to play that Gengar from before, and you can just discard spare stuff you wouldn't want to shuffle draw back into the deck, so really good. Mr. Brownie's Compassion is Scoop Up Net on a supporter. If you play the modern game, choose one of your Pokemon that isn't an EX, return it and all cards attached to it to the hand. So, can be very handy to pick up a bunch of a very heavily damaged Mon if you are going against like Spread or something. Good healing. Low pressure system and high pressure system are type specific. We're going to get Magnetic Storm pretty soon as well. I think that's in Hidden Legends, which is for psychic fighting. This one just gives the Grass Lightning Pokemon 10 extra HP, which is very inconsequential, but may see play as a counter stadium specifically. High pressure system is pretty strong actually. Your fire and water Pokemon take 1 less to retreat. This could be used turn 1 to retreat into Dunsparce more easily, so definitely very good there. And then we have a couple others. We've got Balloonberry is reprinted here. This is still just Floatstone, but it discards itself after you retreat. Buffer Piece comes in here, which is like a slightly worse defender. You can only get one of these attached at a time, and it doesn't reduce your self damage by 20, so Golem can't use this to cut its double edge damage down, but it's still damage reduction. That might come in handy at some point, so worth having. And then Energy Recycle System. I don't think there's an equivalent. I think it just got a straight reprint as is at one point. Search your discard pile for basic energy. You either take one of them, put it back into hand, so it's like half an energy retrieval but without the discard, because keep in mind that was a part of energy retrieval at this time, or shuffle 3 energy back into the deck. Generally not necessary, but if for some reason you don't want to play Magneton, that could be a way around it. Looking at the actual Pokemon themselves, there's some which are definitely worth noting. Absol actually looks really cool, but is not particularly great. There's a Skarmory that's very similar to this as well, where it does more damage if you are behind in one way, and both of them strip your opponent until they have like 5 cards left in their hand. You get to choose what gets discarded. In Skarmory's case, shuffled back. Skarm does more base damage on its power count, because Darkness Energy makes up the difference, I guess. I don't know. Altaria is neat in doubles. Sleeping both opponents' Pokemon is kind of cute, but even then it's not super strong because they can just have one of them wake up and they can still attack. But, you know, it's fine. Cordon I was hoping would be pretty good. There's a couple of different ones in here, and honestly, on reflection, I think this is probably the worst one. It's good for doubles. Again, if you have this in the active, then your active Pokemon do 10 more damage, so you can use this with a stronger partner and do more. 60 for free is decent, but not really quite where we want to be here. It's the same with this one, except this one's got lower retreat and has a first attack as well. The catch is to do 60, you do need to have a damage counter on the opponent, but that isn't very difficult to set up because you can do that with Xatu or something, so it's not bad. Just a little bit under the power curve of what we want here. Flygon debatably is also under the power curve because it's a stage 2, but it can scale higher than the other stuff here. Rainbow Burn is the same thing we used on the Ho-Oh, except its base cost is 1 less, so you can use this for 60 damage instead of 70. Energy Shower is where this gets very interesting though. It is an attack, so you can't do anything with it after, but it lets you attach all of your basic energy from hand anywhere that you want. As many energies you want. You do not even have to put them all, so if you've got a Delcatty in play, you can have all but one. And this is extreme burst potential. Keep an eye on this card because there's a double rainbow energy in next set that will make that very powerful as a support attack. Golem also gets a non-EX that is equally far too expensive. Shame because I pulled 4 of this thing. Rock Slide is powerful, but takes so much energy, it's just not worth it. Grumpig, again, not particularly worth it here. If you've got equal energy on the opponent, then you confuse them with 50, not really super good. Plus Laminen are very close to being good, but I think they're just slightly too frail, unfortunately. They're excellent for doubles because you can heal 1 damage counter from all of your Pokemon as well as an attacking with your other thing. And then they have a snipe 20 and do 20 more if the thing you are sniping, in Minen's case, has a power or body, or in Plusle's case if it's an EX. So snipe 40 is really strong for 2 energy, but it's so frail. I'm not convinced it's quite enough. Roselia is pretty decent as a starter, although you've got to question why you're not just using Dunsparce at that point. Speed growth accelerates 2 energy in play. This could be really good for Sceptile decks that you can then transfer energy wherever you want. That's mostly it, to be honest. Salamence here is an intriguing card. Dragon Wind is a literal gust of wind whilst it's active, but its attacks are pretty mediocre. 4 for 60 when 2 of those are different color energy is really poor. So it's an awkward attacker. You might be able to use this with stuff later on that gives it like 0 retreat or whatnot. Agility is fine, but again, not what you want to be using on a stage 2, so not really too sure there. Shedinja, I think it's funny. I don't think it's actually super good, but a lot of decks will have a hard time beating this. Prevents all effects of attacks, including damage done by evolutions or EXs. Most stuff, I mean, my own deck I'm playing today would have a very hard time with this, to be honest. Damage curse is not very good, but if the opponent can't hit you in the first place, then what does it matter, right? Torkoal, not really worth talking about here. You get to add basic energy from your discard to your hand, but spoilers, we're going to talk about Magneton that does that as a power, so whatever. Dragonairs are rare for some reason. Flygon, you do 60, and then if Tails, you discard an energy. Not very good for the two different colors here. Sandguard is cute though. Girafarig is an intriguing one. If you have the same number of energy on you as your opponent's active, it's Computer Search. So this could be a good going second card. When the opponent has used like their setup Dunsparce and they haven't switched to the bench, you could get Girafarig out and then search for any one card that you want at the end of the turn. It's fine, you know? Magneton is the absolute all-star for this set. It's energy retrieval, or if you've played any more recent format, there was Evolution's Starmie actually had this one too. It's like Space Beacon or something, where yeah, it's energy retrieval on a power. This means that the energy you're discarding with Dalcaddy can now come back into hand, and you get to also discard useless Dunsparce and crap from the hand as well. Unbelievable card. Its attack is also really quite good if you have energy acceleration though. 10 damage times the amount of total energy that you have in play. There's good ways of getting this to do tons of damage, next set especially, but boost energy can also be used to give this burst potential as well. Very strong card. Ninjask lets you get the Shedinja out of deck when you evolve into the Ninjask, which is cute because Shedinja otherwise is a stage 1, other than that not really too impressive. The Salamence here, Intimidating Fang is fine, but you've got to discard an energy to do 60 every turn. Maybe you could use this with like Blaziken or something, but honestly just not worth it. And then the Flygon is probably the most notable other card in here. Not the Flygon, the Vibrava for the Flygon. Quick Charge is super good. Search your deck for up to 3 different types of basic energy, put them into your hand. This is setting up for the energy shower next turn, but it obviously works very well with Rainbow Burn, so good stuff there. Dragon Spark is nice if you can flip heads, not really something to rely on, but 20 spread, that's what Steelix did for 2 metal and 2 colorless, so definitely worth a look. Other than that, that's pretty much it for the set here. There's a couple of Magnemite interesting, there's some other lower stage evolutions that kind of make the previous ones obsolete. Stuff like I think the Torchic is the best one here. The Mudkip is probably the best one overall, although I still like Bubble. The Trico that was in the set has got 50 HP, so it finally joins the ranks of okay starters, even though its attack is pretty bad. And yeah, we've gone for everything else, so pretty cool. So, might be wondering, what are we going to play today then? I've been considering playing a specific deck to out Matt because, you know, he's only playing the same deck every week, and I had built like an evolution deck that would technically beat both of the decks he's playing at the moment, but that doesn't win against anything else. So, we're going to bring the general purpose one, and the main reason for this is because he didn't accept trading Ray for Gardevoir, even though that is what he said he would do. It's, you know, like, that was before properly thinking on it, I guess. So, you know, last stream means nothing. But we're actually going to play this right. I ideally would have a third Ray, but since I don't, I'm going to play my one Latias as well here. So, Latias has some advantages that Ray does not. It resists Psychic, his other deck is Gardevoir, so this might come in handy. Like, Feedback is still a thing, but he doesn't actually have Gardevoir EX. So, resistance to Psychic could be pretty good. Mist Ball also just does 100, where the Rayquaza is only averaging 80. Because the way we're going to use this is we're going to use it with Venusaur. With Venusaur here, if you attach an energy to your active, you can double attach instead. You can only use one of these, you don't get to attach 3 if you have multiple Venusaur out, so we are only playing the 2 Venusaur here because we only ever need 1 at a time. But if you have, say, a lightning energy on this thing, and then you double attach fire, you're doing 80 damage every turn by discarding those 2 fire. So it's very possible to do rather large amounts of damage with this thing, and 80 every turn is something we haven't really had access to yet. So very, very strong there. I'm the only one who has 2 Delcatty, so I am the best positioned to use the Delcatty Magneton engine here. I actually have 4 of these guys, but that's not for this deck, right? We only need the 2, so of course we discard draw 3 with the Delcatty, then recover the energy with this. We also recover the energy to attach to the Rayquaza with this thing, which is really good. 4 Dunsparce, because it's this era, you've got to play 4 basically. Strike and Run just sets this deck up beautifully. I'm playing the 101 Blaziken as an extra energy accelerant and also a threat deterrent, right? Rayquaza is really strong, but if it gets KO'd, you generally don't have much of a backup for the next turn. But Blaziken can keep charging up stuff on the bench using the fire energy that you're discarding, and this is where we get the third energy accelerated into play. And at that point, we just kind of snowball. So very, very good stuff there. As far as the trainers go, we are on the 2 dual ball because that's all I have at the moment. Next set has dual ball, so we might be able to get some more. 2 Pokénav, this was initially free, but I've put a 14th energy in, as we'll find out later on. 4 Red Candy, because we're playing low counts of stage 2s and stuff, we definitely need that. 2 Warp Point, learning my lesson a little bit from last week. I've put 2 Warp Point in every single deck at the moment. This just gets you out of status condition hell, which is especially good against Dunsparce, because Dunsparce hits for weakness on the EXs, so there is that. Just a 1 Copycat, because nobody else has access to the engine as robust as I do, so right now, until Steven's advice comes in, I don't think Copycat is super strong for me personally, so only the 1 here. 2 Shaman, I think this is the better overall one. I do have 3 Oaks Research in here as well. I would like to have played more TV Reporter, but I actually didn't naturally pull any of these. Both of these are from the theme deck, so unfortunate. 3 Oracle. Oracle's a little bit weak turn 1 when you are ideally using Dunsparce or Skitty to search the deck, but it's exceptional as soon as you get Delcatty into play, and this just lets you get any 2 cards you want with the Delcatty search. So as soon as Delcatty goes online, this makes the entire deck flow. Elm's Training Method is exceptional with Dunsparce and just a bunch of other stuff really. You can use this with the Rare Candy, get the Venusaur out, etc, etc, so very, very strong card. And then the 1 Town Volunteers for recovery here. You might end up losing Pokemon early, or you might have to discard Pokemon that you really don't want to. Sometimes you just need to get some energy back too, because you may have discarded too many overall. So just the 1 for recovery here. As far as the energy themselves goes, we are on 8 Fire, 3 Lightning, 1 Water. You need Water for the Latias here. This would be another Lightning if I was on Triple Ray, but I only pulled 2. And 2 Multi-Energy. This was a tech that I didn't actually think about before, but if you attach Multi-Energy to Rayquaza, then Multi plus either Fire or Lightning is 80 damage for 2 energy, not for 3. You can also push with Multi Double Fire and hit for 120 for the 3 energy instead. Venusaur can attach these. The only reason I'm not playing my 3rd copy is because honestly I prefer the physical fire, because I want to be able to recover these with Magneton. You cannot recover multi-energy, it's only basics. So I'd rather not at this point. This is an excellent tech to push for surprise damage, but I don't think it is the guaranteed thing here. Oh, also I didn't mention the Bulbasaur is 40 HP because I do not own the 50 HP one. Next set does have a 50 HP one that might fix that, but for now, that is not something that I have, so yeah. Alright, let's take a look, see. Well, it looks like Matt's game is finished. It looks like the Salamence is coming in from Pepper. That's going to be very interesting, because I think Salamence is probably my worst matchup here. I have an idea to deal with this thing. It's going to involve Delcatty, but we'll see. And then here, yeah, no surprise, we've got the Kingdra, and the Wally deck that I built last week is what Sai is using here, because he hasn't really had time to deck build this week, and he thought this one was fun, so like it looked fun, so that is what they're going with. So also, hello Simsmage, how are you doing? Right, I guess we will go into this one. Let's see.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey.
I got booked out the game.
Oh no. Oh, how am I not surprised? Okay.
Yeah, I've decided I'm just gonna commit to playing the role of the heal.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, well, I will admit that is not a deck I have necessarily looked at, because again, the only one who can play it is you, and let's face it, you weren't playing that deck.
I thought I was well prepared for fire. If it was on fire, it would have been a much different game.
Like, I don't even think Muck is top 10 in this meta, so to see you play this is, like, unheard of, I'll be honest. So,
I can see it. We haven't got Stevens yet, so people are leaning much heavier, even heavier on the support powers for getting their decks going.
yeah, we'll have to see. This is going to be an interesting one, then.
I figured our local meta wasn't ready for it, so it seems like the prime time.
Yeah. We'll have to see. I definitely do have...
Being on fire again would have gotten you bullied this round between Kingdra and Salamence, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I expected some Kingdras around too. Either at least one from Leo, and I thought you might play it as well, Cal, just because you...
I mean, maybe I would. I'm not shy of options this round. Maybe I would have if I didn't get it literally 20 minutes before start time. But
yeah,
you know,
that's fair.
The other thing is the punish for Muck is Gardevoir decks because you just hit for weakness.
Exactly.
You know the funny thing, actually. You know, I mentioned in the stuff before that if I wanted to like directly counter the stuff that you're capable of playing, then I could probably do it within one deck. That actually does include Muck,
Wow.
because of the weakness on it. But that is actually not what is being played here because it's so far below the rest of the power curve that it doesn't really make sense to play, to be honest. So.
Yeah, I don't remember what other good psychic stuff there was that hits weakness, because I'm thinking like Xatu, but that's not...
Yeah, Xatu is not it.
Yeah, that also would be bad.
Basically Gardevoir decks.
What do I leave with here?
In this format.
I do have a basic, so I'm just trying to decide what I want to lead.
I guess if you want to try, I guess I could try and run the Expedition Zam back, but with the Crystal Energy Discovery, I don't want to be there anymore.
Hang on, can you like let me do this first, please, Pepper? Because yeah, I guess I will just start with that. Yeah, I'm not surprised you're playing Removal 2 and stuff. Potion as well, it's a hell of an interesting one. Alright, we're gonna draw
It actually mattered last game. I would have just straight up donked him if it weren't for that.
Fair enough. Alright, what do we want?
I'll take heads. And those, you got 2 mulligans, right?
I did, yeah. Alright, so we are going first then. Okay. By the way, again, I only have this guy because I don't have the 50 HP one. Yeah, this is the whole thing. You may regret not taking that off me here. Right, we're gonna Pokénav. Yeah, because I actually think Ray still beats Mug, to be honest.
Yeah, I can see it.
Alright, we will grab a fire. Just
might depend a little bit on your spiral growth luck, but I don't know.
I'm just deciding what order I want the other bits in here. Which one do we want on the bottom? I'm trying. Does it even matter? Yeah, I guess it kind of does. So we'll put that one bottom. So do that. Yeah, you know what? We're just gonna attach there, and I'm gonna end the turn. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm in no rush. Yeah, that figures.
Bird to muck.
Yep.
Yeah, we can leave it there. Just go poison breath.
Yep. I was gonna say this is where the 40 HP is gonna be bad, but honestly, I don't think it will be because I think
you can just poison breath for a second time.
The math works out fine anyway. Yeah.
If anything, it's good because it means he can't make it KO on your turn.
Right. Yep. So we're gonna go for the door pull. Ooh, that's pretty
nice.
good. Okay, so... Yeah, obviously it could be a little bit of a problem going no powers here because, you know, there's a lot that can get done with it, but I think I'm relatively comfortable just attaching to Ray for a few turns and just waiting until like a one-shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's
yeah,
why I don't think you win this matchup if I don't like break too much because of the lack of draw and stuff. Because I feel like I can just kind of take it that way. Okay, so since we got 2, we may as well grab these 2. So they can get benched. I will play down Magneton anyway. Seems alright, because it's still just 1 retreat, so it's probably fine. I'm not attaching a lightning to it anyway at this point right now, so that is okay. Yeah, we'll use the supporter anyway. We'll go for Elm here. Like there's not really any harm in me just setting up the stuff like the Delcatty here. Because again, like as soon as I either take this thing out or get it away from the active, then it's fine, right? Because that's the other thing, unless you manage to get the second one out, which, you know, like right now, basically, there are ways of just forcing it away, you know? We're going to put another fire on the Ray and end the turn at that.
Okay, go TD rep.
Yep. I do wish I pulled more of that, any of that card, but it's fine. Yeah.
Kill Wally. Or reversal.
Yep.
Do it again.
Oh my god, yep. Okay. Fair dues. So let's see. 2030. Yeah, okay.
I'll go Grimer as well, and we'll go Poison Breath.
Right, okay, so I'm still fine. Cool. That's all that really matters here, you know. Oh, I did not draw the card. Oops. Thank you very much. I put the... Yeah. That's alright. That's the main thing, as you're not going to get a knockout on me next turn. That's the that's all that really matters here. Alright, sure, we'll dual ball again. Why not? Sure. Okay, so... What is going to be the best to get here, then? Honestly, like, getting the Bulbasaur would be cute, but I do technically still have one on the bench at this point. I'm going to get the second Ray. I'm going to hold on to that for just now. We're going to put a Lightning on this thing, and I'm going to discard the 2 fire and do 80 here.
Nice.
This goes up to 30. Yeah, like I could have held on to it, but I'm feeling relatively alright with it. Yep. There it is. Yeah, so that stops Wall Point from being the out.
You do what, 40?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go low pressure system.
Sure.
And you didn't play supporter, huh? Or did you? No, I think last turn you played Elms for Delcatty. Okay, so you're pretty stuck, seems like. Well, I mean, that may not be the case. Who knows? You know, I'll play Shaman. We'll just do it.
Sure.
Dual ball.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, it didn't really seem too worth it putting the Ray down there. It was just like, you know, could just get reversaled and hit that way. At least this one is still threatening a KO.
Grass here, I think.
Okay.
And So you only had 2 cards and one of them was Ray before I Shaman?
I think I had 3.
3, okay. Yeah, I actually assumed you had played the Ray. Yeah, I don't know if
I
that's
didn't
right.
actually bench it, yeah.
Well, what can you do? I'll Poison Breath for
Sure.
10.
Okay. We will draw... okay. I guess now there's a decision to be made. Yeah.
Deck is pretty brain dead.
It is. It is. Yeah, because I have Warp Point. I guess we will play it. Not really much of a reason not to, so...
Wow, see, that makes me think you missed energy.
Well, I had it, and you shamaned it away. Speaking of which...
Beautiful. Cool.
Speaking of which, we are going to do that as well.
Wow, that's pretty lucky then. I feel like you were more likely to hit the energy off of the shaman.
I was. Go ahead.
Okay. Grass here. Go removal. Alright.
Yep. Yeah, GG.
You want to scoop it there?
Yeah. There's no point.
Okay.
I mean, what's the point of playing against it, you know?
I guess.
What is the point? We'll try again, but like, yeah, there's like no point.
I'm surprised you're so confident you lost after no
I
cross
mean,
cards.
I have. That's it. There's nothing I can do at that point.
Huh.
Like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna stall out, I guess, with like switching these guys. It's not gonna do anything. You're just gonna eventually get a reversal up and kill the Ray, and it's like I can't draw enough with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what am I supposed to do about that? There's nothing I could do.
It's only one more again.
Yeah,
Like heads or tails?
Let's go tails.
Oh, sorry. Drew? Why did I draw? That doesn't make sense.
Well,
I'm first, so I very much should not have drawn.
Yeah. Alright.
That's cool. I didn't prize 1 grass energy. First, good start. I mean, grass. Research. Okay.
Nah, the long and short of it is I'm not spending 40 minutes playing a game that is probably not going to be won, so...
Yeah, I guess it might be a little long. I will just pound you.
Okay.
Big
Yeah,
old
long,
10.
not to mention boring as fuck, but you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, this is kind of what we're dealing with, I guess, so... what are we on? 5? Okay, well, we're gonna do that. I am not a massive fan of these buttons keeping on dragging out and stuff. It's not. I know why, but it's not great. Yeah, I guess
Which
I'm gonna.
button?
The blue ones, like you just because they keep like being prioritized instead of the cards in my hand. So every time I try and like play a card out of my hand, it's pulling the buttons on for the energy and stuff instead, which is not great. Right, we might as well copycat.
Okay, I got 5.
Yep.
Those are sparse.
Yeah, I'm thinking I might end up needing another one, so... Okay, let's go. Just trying to think if it's even worth playing that. I mean, I guess it might be worth putting the Skitty down here, because at least this can search for energy and stuff. Yeah, I guess we'll strike and run.
Okay. Wow. Can you hear the neighbors outside?
Yeah, I can.
I have no idea what they're doing. Yeah, I guess I'll sit back. Got here.
It's an awkward spot because like all of the basics get KO'd in one hit anyway, and it's just because they all have retreat costs.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just get these two, and I'm gonna swap to the Skitty here.
Okay. Party drawn.
Yep.
We'll go. I guess that's fine. We'll go. I guess fastball.
Yeah.
Then I got a TV rep. Out of Wally. Into grass. Did you miss attachment?
No, yeah. I attached to the Dunsparce. You went first.
Oh, right. Yeah. It's funny. I've been doing all my playtesting going second. Because it,
well, I mean, when you don't have to think, it's hard to keep track of these things, isn't it?
Yeah. Even for expanded, though. Like, because I'm counting on, you know, Dragapult or whatever going first. And because that's where it's really scary.
Yeah.
The jump on you. Well, okay. Poison Breath.
Yep. Well, I mean, he will survive more than one hit, so I guess there is that going for it. Yeah, I've just kind of got to think of how I actually want to try and do this. There is a way, it's just not pretty, obviously.
This is like pure Ray, right?
Yeah, more or less.
Interesting.
God, I'm not even sure where the attach is best at this point. I mean, there's a logic to putting it on the Skitty and searching for the energy, but I'm not really sure if that's the best bet here.
I guess if you're bricked, that might be the option.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can always get it back with spiral growth, kind of.
Maybe. The problem is just getting enough damage in time, especially with the energy removal too and stuff. Yeah, I guess we'll put it on the Ray and pass the turn at that. Go ahead.
Okay. Some grass.
Yep.
Remove.
Yep.
Remove.
Yawn. Yep.
And then research. Yeah,
yep.
Ray. It's fine. You're burning through them. You're halfway there.
There is no point in playing this game. I'm going to, but there is no point in playing this game. This is so stupid.
Get the poison breath.
Yep. Alright. Let's bring the dude in. We will attach. We will bench Latias here.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah, I mean, I
Okay,
don't have
so
a third ray, so
sure.
we actually, before I research, I'm gonna burn the dual ball because like I'm not gonna want to redraw it. So we're just not even gonna bother. We're going to shuffle draw the 5, and yeah, we're gonna go for the flip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, this was fun.
Go fastball.
Yep.
Oop, what's that?
Please don't.
That would be awesome. Okay, we've already got all the energy. Sure, yeah, we'll just slimy water.
Yeah. I guess we bring that in because it can survive a hit. That's pretty much all there is to it. Worst of it is I don't even know if that's actually good. Like, the card is good, but I don't even know if it even matters in this situation. We're gonna put a lightning down. I'm going to Oracle. But, like, I don't even know if this matters here. Because I don't know what 2 cards I could get out of this that's going to actually make a difference. Oh, well, maybe. Maybe. Sure. We'll do that. Alright, go for it.
Cool, dual ball.
Yep.
Should like 1 heads would be nice.
Yep.
And a slimy water 50.
Shuffle up as well.
Yes.
Alright, go ahead.
Grass. Let's see, so you're 1 attached, 1 fire specifically. No, it is what it is. I will go for the poison breath.
Just to have variety, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of style.
Alright, we will go ahead and take this thing out with the Dragon Spiral for 120. Again, it's really not going to make a difference here, but... do I want to do anything else for this first, actually? Because I do have other plays I can make. I probably should, because it'd be a bit irresponsible if I don't. I am going to research here. Yep. Like, this is the obvious thing is I am taking the KO regardless at the end of this turn, but I should play a bit more responsibly and actually try and, like, get something going here. Yeah, none of that's really going to make much of a difference in the long run, but sure, I guess we can bench that and then take the knockout, so we'll get our prizes. Right, cool. Sorry about that, I just, like, I thought about it for a second, I was like, I should really do something else here.
Not a problem at all. I think just kind of hit them.
Yeah, so we'll do the 60?
Yeah, slimy water.
Right, okay. We'll draw... 3 prizes is not a great spot for me to be in with that. Kinda wish I'd benched one thing last turn now based on this hand, but you wouldn't know until you actually get it. Right, we're gonna nav here.
Yeah.
Oh, that might help. We'll get Delcatty. Like, obviously I can't draw with it, but it survives. Oh, looking at the rest of this stuff, that's not going to matter at all. Jesus. Yeah, that really sucks, actually. Yeah, I actually have to scoop that, I'm afraid. There's nothing I can really do with this.
Dang, you're all bricked up again. Yeah, that's not good.
There's nothing I can do, so... Okay, do you want to actually see then what I was referring to? Like, it is really below the curve, but then to be fair, so is this deck, so, you know, because I actually do think that the other thing I have here could still take this because of the way it's set up. Yeah, no, we'll go with that, because, alright. Well, that's not going to be a way to show it, but okay, whatever. This one, oh, hang on, I didn't see that. Whatever, just go. You can't just flash it at me and expect me to see it when I'm still looking at my own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've drawn the card for it, so... Okay. Alright, what do we want? Let's go Tails. Alright, this is not the card that I want to start with for this, because it is not built for this exact thing of it, but I do have Lynette, so I will be able to play out of this anyway. Right, so this should hopefully show you a little bit about why I was like, this can probably take out both options here. Once I get that down, let me just check the rest of this whilst I'm going through. Yep, seems alright. Alright, so that's why. Right, we're gonna put the Psychic down on Eevee and end turn. Go ahead.
That's a hand. Pound.
Okay, we'll take 20. Oh, one card away from lethal. Okay, I don't even remember if I played in this deck actually. Alright, we're going to Pokénav here. Oh, did I put the deck the wrong way around or something? Because it just flips there, that was weird. I'm gonna grab ourselves... Yeah, I think that's probably right. We'll grab another Eevee here. Okay, hang on. I remember how you do this. It's shift to see the thing. Right, yeah, to see the top card of the deck. Yeah, because I mean, it doesn't actually matter because I don't think I'm going to need to do that. Do we burn the... No, I think I probably burn the energy to retreat here. We're going to retreat to the Eevee, and you are not the only one who's playing Wally.
Nice.
So we are going to Wally for the Espeon. And it doesn't quite kill it, unfortunately, because I don't have Strength Charm, but we are going to confuse right here for 40. Doesn't get it, but that's fine.
Okay, got Primer, got Grass, Shaman.
Yeah. It's pretty good. I had Shaman in my own hand as well, so...
Interesting.
You can sort of see where I was coming from off of this, though. Like the Sea King beats the fire stuff, the Phanpy beats the Dunsparces and Ditto and shit, and the Espeon cleans up the God of War stuff. Initially, I actually had Vaporeon and just wasn't even playing like the Fampian stuff in here because Vaporeon pretty much beats the Blaze and whatnot. But then I looked at it going, if you do somehow get Ray, then Vaporeon isn't the best out. Like, yes, it ignores resistance, but it still gets 2-shot, right? So I don't know.
Yeah.
Ray would have been a much bigger problem, but you didn't get that, so.
This is true. But then you just play Ditto and you're back in.
No, because Ditto doesn't deal with those guys like at all. Like, okay, maybe Espeon, but it doesn't hit it for weakness. Ditto gets 1-shot by both of them because you're probably going to have too many energy in play for Espeon to not kill it, and Vaporeon does 50 for free, which is exactly what Ditto gets killed by. So that's why I
thought you were saying you didn't have an answer to Ray.
No, I mean, in this deck, I wouldn't necessarily have it, but...
Right,
okay, yeah, so
you
then you could... Right, I get what you mean now. Yeah, I could just, like, tech 1 Ditto or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I get what you mean now.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
It's a very weird cat and mouse type thing with this.
Go fastball.
Sure.
Oh,
why are you searching? That's not how it works.
Close enough.
I mean, poking nav under a different thing, right?
But where do you put it?
Nowhere. It doesn't work.
You would knock me out next turn.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Muck does technically survive, but...
Yeah, I think I'll... Did I just play this Grimer? I think I did.
I think you did, yeah. Yeah, because this is only your second turn, because I went first.
Yeah.
And you didn't have it.
That sounds right.
Yeah, you didn't have it last turn.
That's cool. I guess it doesn't super matter unless you shaman me or something, but even then.
Yeah.
We'll go Oranberry here.
Sure.
And what do I guess Poison Spurt.
Yeah, Poison Spurt's probably better in it because you do get the continuous damage on it. Okay, right. Well, this is why we have backups. Yeah, it's not Shaman, unfortunately. It is TV Reporter here. I haven't been playing all 3 of the Shaman at the moment because I don't actually really see the point in a lot of these because I kind of want my own draw as well half the time. I do like it and I do want it as like my shuffle draw thing, but I'm not as big on it at the moment. Alright, let's go with another Pokénav.
I think it's good in this deck just because it's a control tool, but...
Yeah, multi...
Well, is it?
No, I think it's good in the Muck stuff. And it's good in general. I just don't think it's like a 4, well, as now a 3-of, because that's what I'd have, but I don't think it's like a 3-4-of type good for most decks. Right, let's put... I might as well just start putting it on the benched one, because I think that's going to be the better overall play with it here. And yeah, we're going to take the KO on the Grimer.
Dual ball.
Yep. How's it going, Julia? Oh dear.
Nice.
Yeah, not stellar considering, but like it could be worse.
Good. Poison breath.
Yeah. Like I just kind of got walled out in the original thing. It's funny because like Latias also one-shots it, but I don't have enough energy in the for Latias specifically for that. I have like 2 multi and a 1 water because you know I only have 1 Latias in the first place. Right, I think this should probably wrap it up anyway. If I put the energy on that one, we're gonna go for the Confuse right here. It doesn't really matter if this thing gets KO'd. Okay, no confusion, that's fine. Still 20 damage after the berry.
Oh, yep.
What's that? We on Dragon? Which is why this asshole is back in.
There we go. You're at 50. Okay. So, I mean, I guess we'll just do the slimy water.
Yep, so that takes the knockout, and then I have energy in hand, so Energy Crush will do 100, because you've got free energy in play.
Yep.
And hit for weakness. So, yeah, and it doesn't take psychic energy, so I don't care about losing its thing. So, you can kind of see the general idea was like, yeah, I mean, your two decks are weak to water and weak to psychic. The Seeking I'm not super sold on, but it's probably better than Vaporeon because it hits for less. I can get it out of the deck just so it can actually show. It's okay. It's probably a little bit more of a doubles thing, but it snipes 20 for 1 water. If you hit active, that still hits for weakness, so it still fulfills that like 20 for 1 on the early stuff. And then Fast Stream is just 30 for 2. So like it doesn't have a lot of high-end output, but that's still enough to two-shot like all of the relevant stuff. And when you consider how much like build-up that lets me do for stuff like the Espeon to come in with a big Energy Crush later on, like it's fine. And more importantly, it's got 0 retreat. So if I like open up with something like if I open up with the Goldeen and a Wally, then I can ding it out. I don't actually have Dunsparce in this deck, so there's not a ton to retreat out into, but maybe the Skitty, because the Skitty can accelerate energy from hand as well. So it's a thing. This is not really relying very much on the Delcatty stuff, obviously, and the Magneton is more for coverage over the other guys more than anything, because, if I can just build up an energy a turn for a while, Magneton can start hitting like 100 on the Kingdoms and stuff, so...
Yeah.
Like, that still ends up mattering. But, yeah, I mean, it's counter-punching, that's basically it. I do have the Memory Berry in here as the other, like, slick thing, though, because the Goldeen has Flail, and so does the Famby. So you can actually get a cheeky one energy like big hit as well. But overall, the ceiling is just not there with this deck. That's why I was like, I don't particularly want to bring it in, but I think it was worth showing because I was like, yeah, if I did bring it, it actually beats like all 3 of the decks you would be playing. So it's worth showing, if nothing else, that yeah, there are ways of dealing with it. It's just not, not pretty, and not really what I want to be doing, because I think it folds to like everything else that's here, really. But
what would you lose to, do you think?
Anything that doesn't care about taking like 30 damage.
Yeah.
So immediately this Latios over here would be a big problem. Because it's resistant to the fighting. It also does like get rid of all of its own energy, so I can't Energy Crush it very well. So the best I have is like 20 damage on it, which is miserable. So that would probably be a really big problem. I'm not super sold on the Salamence match for it. Like, it is possible probably with Delcatty, but like Salamence is actually an awkward match with both of the decks I have here today. Mostly because it can one-shot the Ray and drag it out as well, which is pretty bad. But that's why I put Multi-Energy in the deck, because Multi-Energy with the Venusaur double attach is just 80 out of nowhere, right? So...
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
There's a lot of really cool stuff within this one, and it does have some ways of dealing with... it does have some ways of dealing with the muck stuff, but not necessarily when it's just jamming like 4 of every, like removal / coin flibby thing as well,
Yeah.
Because, yeah, like Latias can deal with one. It's not reliable without Magneton, but it can deal with it. Ray obviously can deal with it if I get enough going. But they do also get 2-shot in comparison, so... It's not amazing. But honestly, if that's like the only bad matchup that I have, I think that's pretty okay to take, considering, again, it's like you were the only one who has it, and it's not even that good of a deck, so it's not the sort of thing I would have even remotely expected that you would want to play. Especially how much you said you disliked the Muck the last time, but then you did play Muck in like every single game, so I guess I shouldn't be too surprised.
Yeah.
Okay, exaggeration, obviously, but...
I don't know if I dislike it or not. Like, it's almost more fun to play abilities. I guess it is. It just is.
I mean, objectively, it just is.
Yeah.
There isn't really a maybe or otherwise for it. It is less fun. It's like floodgating in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's less fun when you just don't you're not allowed to play the game, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, there are some fairly concrete ways of being able to, like, deal with it, per se. It's just, like, it's annoying to be forced to run them, pretty much.
Yeah. I feel like that's kind of healthy, though.
Well, the other deck I was considering was a straight Mewtwo EXing, so you also wouldn't have won that one. So
yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I don't know. If I had more Mewtwo, I probably actually would have played it too. I only have the 2, but overall the Venusaur deck has got the higher ceiling on it, so I thought that was going to be better here.
Did you want to play against Sai? I don't know if they're looking to play a game or not, but...
Yeah, that probably would be... Well, yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea. Could maybe actually get to showcase what this deck can genuinely do. Kind of feel rough for him, though, because he's playing my Wally thing from last round, and I don't think that's got a good matchup against us in my own experience, but we shall see. Yeah, I think they're talking in the other room at the moment, so...
Oh, that hurts. Alright, I'm gonna
snoozy, so flip for sleep.
Oh, I don't know. Go to sleep. It's
RIP.
This is bullying.
Are you want to play a thing, Sai, whilst this I mean,
sure.
Is it a match that's going on here, or is it just
chaos?
Or is it just the
we're fighting.
This is just like the back of the schoolyard type thing at the moment.
Right now, this is chaos.
I use Teptile's ability. Heal with
bricked.
Pokemon Nurse.
Okay, Nurse off at least. Don't heal special conditions with that.
Right, let's shift to a different room.
So you're still asleep.
Oh dear. Right, so I never got a full chance to actually show what this thing can do because just muck.
I had 2 games where I would have won turn 1 if I had Wallies in hand.
Yeah, that sounds about right, to be honest.
And then I just couldn't get my Pikachus out.
Yeah, I mean, that deck has still got the same sort of counterpunching mentality as I showed him afterwards as well. Oh, I didn't change color, that's why my thing is over there. Hang on, one sec. I was just like, wait a minute, why is it gone all the way over there? It's because I didn't change color, because I'm a fool. Bop. Right, I haven't actually looked at what's even in this hand yet, but that is fine. We will flip him over. You know what? Probably could be worse. Right, shift that damage out of the way as well. Right, what would we like?
Let's go Tails.
Okay, yeah. You're the first time I'm not going first. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Ooh, Lynette's good though.
Do we have one? we did. That was another problem. I had prized Pikachus.
Yeah, I think that was the case in the first. You cannot quite do that. You
Show
can get
them
the
to your opponent?
No, you can get the Pikachu and the Eevee. You are not allowed to get the same type shared here.
Oh, different. Hang on.
That's the whole. That's the whole thing with it. Yep, it is not a. It is not a 3 times fan club that's just like infinitely better. You do have to have different types here as well.
Oh, my bad.
Yep. You also don't have to immediately bench them, so you can choose not to bench the Phanpy if you do want to, but you know. Yeah, no, that's the one.
Unfortunately, I have no energy, so...
Yep, that does it as well. I mean, that's so stupid. You've got 18 energy in that deck. It's like, come on.
So, go ahead.
Yeah, I hate it when that happens. Like, it's so stupid.
Usually do you hit your energy?
Yeah. Okay, we are gonna go for dual ball. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, I hit like 3 out of 4 versus Matt, but it just didn't make a difference because, you know, double muck is kind of backbreaking on the stuff here. This, on the other hand, okay, he is in deck. That is a good start. Do I want him as the other one then? Looking at the way these prizes are, actually, I think we're gonna forego it this round. Okay, so we have Torchic and we have Skitty here. I wanted to get Dunsparce so badly, but I don't think it's gonna help here. I do have Rare Candy, so we're gonna get Blaze out immediately.
That bodes ill.
Potentially. Alright. Not a fan favorite move here, but I'm gonna multi-energy the Bulbasaur and go for Research. This is not why I have this energy in the deck, but I guess it will have to do. Do I need him at the moment? No, he can stay there. Yeah, we're gonna Sleep Seed for the Auto Sleep here. Alright, again, if I had the 50 HP one, I'd be using it right now. So this is an unfortunate concession on my own end that I do not have access to it.
Oh, this is a hard choice.
Yep, Jolteon. Who the Raichu is there, though? You gotta draw first.
Oh, sorry.
That's the whole reason why this card is good. Yeah, I was thinking you might still discard it anyway, but you never know.
And that still did not get me an energy that I can play on my... But that's fine.
Right, because surely if you have an energy of a different type at least. Yeah, it's at least something.
And then we pass.
Okay, do we? Yeah, I guess we should flip for the sleep here just in case.
Yeah.
Considering this actually counts as a grass energy for this right now. Well, we're not doing much better over here, but I can at least get an attack going, so I guess we go Ivysaur Fire and Sleep Seed with this instead. It actually does 40 this time because of weakness. Oh wow, that's bullshit. That was totally a heads.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's probably not that relevant here, but still.
Should probably just build up this thing, fry this as it evolves again.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, we'll pass. There's no point in evolving that. It dies anyway.
Yep, okay. You want to flip anyway, because I might not actually be killing it this turn. So I kind of do have to decide here.
Still asleep.
Yeah, no, I think I actually don't kill it this turn, to be honest. We're going to put the Dunsparce down. I'm going to discard the Fire to go out to the Dunsparce. Use the Blaziken to accelerate the Fire to itself. And we are going to strike and run. Thank God Ivysaur's got a 1 retreat cost, by the way, Jesus.
That's a very speedy Ivysaur.
So yeah, it's surprisingly for what it is, eh? So we're always getting that. This is one of those weird hands of neither of us are drawing super amazingly here.
I've had terrible draws all night.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess
I should not have been losing to Kingdra EX with this sort of deck.
Probably not. No, I think that's going to be okay. Yeah, we'll get those. I'm not going to switch out, so flip to the sleep. Okay. Wow. I mean, I guess it wouldn't matter.
Alright, fuck it, I'm taking a KO.
I was going to say, if this thing's attacking, then it's going to be evolving anyway. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen as soon as you did that.
It was worth a shot.
Yep. Right, so that's gonna Earthquake, take this and 10 on all of your dudes.
Yep.
I mean,
I
that's
don't
not
like doing that, but
yeah, I mean that's not super great for me either. Probably should have accelerated to someone else. It does not damage my side as well. It's not amazing. Because it's like, what do I do from here? This doesn't even feel great if I do that, but yeah, I probably should have accelerated to someone that wasn't the Blaziken. I think that's been the problem here, just based on what's in hand at the moment. I guess I do go into the Ivysaur, but it's not amazing. That does not help in the slightest. Shit, yeah. Wow, this is misery. Alright, what point?
okay. I think this makes sense.
Fair. Yeah, I just don't have anything. This is really annoying.
This way, even if you just find a way to status me.
Yeah, go ahead. I've just drawn like shit. There's not much I can say. Yeah, I accelerated to the wrong thing and then it's just my draws have been unplayable. Yeah, this is pretty much the only option I had, was to try and force out.
Dazzle Blast and try and confuse it.
Alright. Okay.
Can't flip hits tonight.
Okay. That technically helps, it's just very slow to do so. But honestly, slow is better than not at all. We are going to Oracle here. So now the real question is, what 2 cards do I use to get me the hell out of this situation? That's probably going to be fine. Yeah, I guess that should work. Alright, go for it.
Right.
Yeah, it's not impressive right now, but
Guess we'll Dazzle Blast again.
Sure. Okay. I mean, it remains to be seen if that is actually going to matter right now, but it might. we're going to TV Reporter, so we will draw a 3. Okay, that actually helps a ton, my god. Wow. That might have just put this entire thing online. What the hell do I discard to make this work? You know what? Red Candy's probably the weakest link here right now. We have cat magnets, so we're gonna put those in. We'll discard the fire with the Delcatty to draw 3. Fuck. Alright. Seems pretty good. Let's go Venusaur. Plus side, he can't attack anymore. But that's the minor plus side here. We're going to accelerate to the Blaze, to the Hang of the Fire Starter, since you've unfortunately not managed to confuse me. We're going to put the double fire on the Blaze with the Venusaur, and we're going to Fire Stream for the 50 and 10 spread. That's at 20, that's at 50. Okay. Yep.
Fry it.
And that puts another 10. Yep, so he goes down. Let me just double check what I have in here right now. I do have
as much as that hurts.
Yeah, I do have a lightning in there, so we're gonna go ahead and promote the Ray here. Right, so we can draw. That's pretty good. We are going to Oracle. I'm not actually sure what 2 cards I need in this situation, but I guess. No, I don't need those. Yeah, I'm actually not even sure what 2 cards to take here. I think everything is pretty respectable as is. Let's just do that then. So they go on top. I have a fire, so I will discard that to draw 3. Use the Magneton, we'll discard the water to get fire lightning out here. So they can get attached with a Venusaur, and then we'll discard just the lightning to do 40 here with the Rayquaza. And take Yep, because it's 30 HP you've got left, so we'll just take the 2 prizes with that. Yeah, that's what's crazy about this thing, is the modular damage on it is just out there. That's why I was like, yeah, this deck's ceiling is too low for this week at this point, I think. But then I did... Yeah, okay. What's the most dangerous thing to keep in here? I guess... Yeah, Magneton's fine, yeah.
And then, because this is 0 retreat.
Yep.
And we'll quick for 60.
Yep, and put 10 spread. Yeah, I was looking at it going, thankfully I don't die with any of my stuff here, but that is a lot of damage though. Right, we're gonna dual ball. I'm sorry, dude.
Fine, just can't win tonight.
Yeah, I had this last week, so I know how it feels. It's not
Still,
great.
Fun deck.
Yeah.
I'm getting my damage in.
You certainly are. Okay, we're gonna, since I got the second one, I guess we take the Latias here. So like, this guy can go down, you know, I might as well bench it at this point, just in case I would need another attacker here. Yeah, so I can't actually attack this turn, which is kind of funny, because Magnetic Storm or whatever is not even gonna... Magnetic Force is not gonna do nearly enough, so if I want to save this thing, I need to actually just retreat, which, I mean, it's not unreasonable. Yeah, that is not unreasonable. I played the double, I haven't actually played a supporter yet, jeez. Do I even need to... 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. I'm just, I'm sorry, I'm trying to like work out what I actually want to ding in here. I'm not deliberately trying to be slow with this. Yeah, let's just discard the rat candy. I'm pretty sure I don't need those at this point. For the magnetic field. Why is this two things like so similar? That's really annoying. Yeah, so we get the 2 fire. I will attach just 1. I'm not going to use Venusaur this time, because he's only got a 1 energy retreat. So we're going to pay to go into the Ray and Spiral Growth here. So, see what we can get. Nothing. So, go ahead. Yeah, Spiral Growth, if I got a bunch of heads, I could have accelerated the energy, but that is not really the point here. Ooh!
Pokemon Reversal.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
No heads.
I know.
I'm not quaking. There's no point.
Yeah, there's no point.
So, I can do.
Yeah. Alright. Pitch the Bulbasaur. I might as well evolve the other one here as well. Pitch the Bulbasaur for a couple of energy. I'm gonna pitch one of those energy to get 2 different ones out as well, with the second Magneton, because it's soft ones per turn. So I can't get the fire that I just bring in. Probably should have gotten the water instead, but doesn't matter, because those can go there. We'll use the Venusaur once I click off the thing to do that, and then discard just a lightning to do the 40. Alright,
this might be too little too late.
Alright, 10 turn Shock Lock, let's go. Yeah, I will admit, I played one game with against this deck you've got in the moment, and very quickly went, this is just a lost cause. This deck is not equipped to try and deal with this. Yep.
See if we can turn it into an 8 turn.
Yeah, sure. So, Thundershock. Oh nope. My god. Fucking hell.
No, fuck
yeah. I'm sorry, dude.
Is what it is.
My other Ray was in the prizes, but obviously at this point, like,
I just wasn't getting basics.
Yeah, it's tough.
And then continuing to not get basics.
Yeah, I'm not really sure when it comes to that. I mean, the obvious idea is most decks you wouldn't necessarily need that many, but now like Dunsparce kind of changes that math a little bit. I don't know. I don't think it's like meritless that deck, but I think there would need to be some sort of overhaul for it. But it is rather strong against the against some of the other cheese ball stuff that's come out here. So it's not entirely worthless, but it's, yeah, something needs to change with it, I think.
Because I can just flat up run your list.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I did is I threw in the TV reporters over the Birches.
Right, which is probably the better card overall anyway, so that's what I would have done if I was looking at it this way. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how this would change. Maybe just different attackers and whatnot, but...
Well, the nice thing now is I can actually justify running more of this line.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously didn't really have time to set that up today.
Yeah.
But the Jolteon is actually pretty reasonable.
It's surprising, isn't it? Like, it doesn't look like anything, but it's actually kind of good.
Because again, it can get itself out of sticky situations like status.
Sure. Okay, so
Thunderspark was annoying for Kingdra EX.
I can bet it would be. Okay, what was I gonna say? Yeah, there would need to be a way of like accelerating to the Raichu and whatnot in some fashion. Do you have the Ampharos from Expedition?
Let's see.
I know this is kind of going all in on the lightning stuff here, but the next set there is a pretty cool like way you could do it.
If not, it might not be too unreasonable to grab some of them at this point.
Sure.
Expedition Ampharos, is that the one that...
That's the one you ran.
Yeah, like bounces energy to bench or whatever?
It moves from bench to active.
Yeah.
Which is the key point for what, for the, probably more fun side, but for what I'd be potentially looking at with it here. Raichu might not be completely awful.
I have one.
You have one. Okay. There aren't really any other stage 2s you'd be playing in this particular build unless you play like the kitchen sink style of it, which probably isn't going to work for the Raichu. So the funny deck that I found, which would be very cool, but I don't have the stuff for it because I didn't pull it. Next set has got a lantern, like the Team Aqua one, right?
Yes.
It attaches energy from the hand to itself, puts 2 damage counters on itself with its power, right? So the obvious synergy with it here is that your Ampharos would just drag it up to the Raichu that's in the active, and you'd just be hitting 120 every turn.
That works.
You do put damage on the lanterns, but you can work around that. You know, whether you like.
You can nurse it off.
Yeah,
with the Ampharos.
You could nurse it because you're also discarding all the energy on the Raichu every turn, so nurse is not a bad option to heal the Raichu as well, potentially. So that could be one way. The other way, there's the really funny meme bit, which probably comes in Hidden Legends because of Desert Ruins. Pokemon Park is a card that exists, and it's a once per turn, so unfortunately you can't use it on like multiple Lantern, but Lantern attaches from hand, and the Pokemon Park, when you attach an energy from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon, once per turn it heals a damage counter off them. So you can mitigate the first part of that, and also that then like counters other stadium stuff too, which again, maybe this set wasn't quite as big, although that low pressure system would have been annoying with a potion, but you know, wouldn't have mattered this set really, but when Desert Ruins comes in at the end of this format, like 2 sets time, that is going to absolutely decimate most of these EXs that we're looking at the moment. For you in the expanded bit here, Matt, Desert Ruins is effectively Shrine of Punishment if your EX has got 100 HP or more, which is exactly what Muck has, it's exactly what Raichu has, it's exactly what Ray has. So, you know, funnily enough, the Latias would actually probably be the best overall dragon attacker for my deck at that point. Like, completely switch it and just use the Latias instead. But I only pulled 1 Latias, so that's why I didn't bother with that. But, yeah.
So I'd need to grab an Ampharos. So that's probably not going to be too hard to organize.
Right. But here's the other, like, here's the general funny bit that I'd seen with it before. That Lantern works extremely well with Dragonite EX. Because Dragonite by itself, I'm sure you pulled 2 of it.
Did I?
I could have sworn you did. Oh, maybe that's, probably don't want to put that on top of my deck. That's fine, we'll move that. At least we will when it lets me. What? I can't move my deck. Oh no!
That's weird.
Oh, I actually can't move anything. Okay.
There we go. It's probably lag spike.
What hell of a lag spike, Jesus. Wow.
Kitty!
Squirrel!
Did it eat the router cables? Is that what's going on here? We've got a cat chewing on the router cables.
That must be
No, not in my house.
Has Leo just had to outright go here? I know he said he only had a couple of hours that That's a shame. I'd have liked to have actually played the Kingdra.
Yeah, me too.
I was hoping he was going to surrender out at some point. I was basically waiting for it once I'd taken the big KO and was fully set up, but he wanted to stay in, so... Yeah, my deck isn't the greatest here. It's got the consistency's scuffed on it. It needs a few birches, I think, as well.
Yeah, no, I do not have Dragonite EX.
Oh, god damn it!
I have spare Dragonite EX.
I thought you had
that.
No, it's okay. I thought Sai had it, and I was trying to pitch a very funny deck for the next round for it. But if he doesn't have it, obviously, like me, he can't play it.
But yeah, I'd put up for trade. I've got at least one.
Yeah, you probably won. But I mean, the deck itself played 3, but you could probably do it with 2. Like, its only real problem is that it doesn't 2-shot like the 150 HP stuff, which, considering, at least at the end of this format, when you consider Blossom as a thing, that could be kind of rough as well. But it's funny, if nothing else. Like, yeah, it's sort of almost cat's out of the bag with it at this point, because I've said it with Matt too. Team Aqua's Lantern has a purpose next set. Because you attach the energy from your hand to the lantern. Pokemon Park actually is the meme trade I would have looked at if I had the Dragonite, because once per turn when you attach from your hand to your Benchmon, you heal a damage counter, which just so happens to be what the lantern puts on itself, so you can get more attaches out of it than you would normally be able to.
Yeah, attach 2 to it and it takes 2 damage, but you heal 2 off.
Yeah, so well, you only get 1 energy attached to the lantern, but even so.
Well, it takes 2 damage, so you want to heal it off the second one, ideally.
Yeah, I mean you could do that. Yeah, if you've got just a 1 out, and then of course the Dragonite attacks for 2 energy, and it pulls all the energy from the lantern to itself. So it's actually relatively self-sufficient. You need like what, a Magneton?
The Magnetons as well.
Yeah, you need a magnet, you need the 1 lantern, and the Dragonite in the active. And it can be swinging for that. It's also big HP, so Pokemon Nurse, etc, etc. So, like, it's a cool idea. Maybe slightly below curve, because 70 isn't enough to 2-shot these giant EXs, but would be pretty cool.
My mark is looking at Ampharos.
Yeah, because that was the other bit that I then realized with it, is like, okay, so the other thing you could do with it is if you get 2 of those out and an Ampharos, then you can be using Raichu every single turn, right? And that might actually be worth it. But then, yeah, I don't have any of that either, so...
Yeah, I didn't get Amphi either, so... E-card Amphi was specifically.
So Matt, what are you looking for an Ampharos?
We'll see. We'll pull some Magma Aqua and see how it goes.
Yeah.
The style is oppressive when it's out, I've noticed. I know people are curious about that, but this deck's a bit of a brick.
Yeah.
I can't give you my Lumineon V, but I'm sure it can work something out.
Oh, you want to know the cool thing with that? Since I know you guys didn't check out the polls and stuff in the thread, I actually, with the codes that Sai gave me for the stuff on PTCGO, I actually pulled the alt art Lumineon within those packs. I was like, oh, that is so gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a lovely card.
I got the alt art Arceus as well, actually, which is pretty good. The base one.
That's
a very expensive card.
Yeah.
It's like, I think the Arceus is second only to the Charizard, and that's because it's Charizard. Charizard tax.
And you know the funny thing, that Charizard is actually kind of good too. So.
A good Charizard. That's going to be the most expensive card in the entire era, probably.
The universe. Yep. Right. So yeah, we had.
I believe the alt art Charizard is like the most expensive card, but that's not unexpected.
No.
Alt art plus Charizard plus is a decent card. Yeah. That's going to be expensive.
So...
I believe the fish is around £50 right now, so that's not too bad.
That's still really good, yeah. Right, so we had Sai just playing my thing from last time round, which, again, I was tempted on this last round because I figured it could specifically hit the most important stuff. Remember, last round was when Omastar Kabutops were going to be pretty big, as well as, you know, obviously the beginnings of Dunsparce's reign. So it was a case of, well, the Donphan can easily kill...
Oh shit.
What the hell was that?
I don't know, I was trying to move my deck and it went...
And now I have a staircase of cards in my hand. I'm gonna just put those down there. Yeah, so the Donphan obviously was really good against basically all of the starting Pokemon that you would go against. The Eevee for Espeon would be very good against the potential. It's not even really Gardevoir at that point. It's more just like it's generally quite strong for hitting stuff late game, because I mean, even with you and the Blaziken deck, you tended to accelerate, like had 4-5 energy in play minimum, right? So this is still hitting pretty respectable numbers at that point. And then Raichu just one-shots everything, but is especially good against the big EXs that came out in the last set. So the idea was fairly solid. It's a very, very straightforward deck. I wouldn't quite call it as how did they put it in my Twitch chat, Monkey? As the Muck deck was, but it doesn't need much. You just need like the one Pokemon, the appropriate energy, which is why there's 18 energy in this deck with varying types, and the Wally, right? And you're pretty much set to go. So like, it hit a pretty solid setup. Obviously it doesn't hit Blaze for weakness, but last week there really wasn't that much of an appropriate like target for that. I mean, what were you gonna do? Like, the Seaking again is fine, but it doesn't do shit against anything else, and Vaporeon does take 2 energy to do anything, so it's a bit antithetical to the way this deck specifically was being built. But this kind of thing is a huge meta call in its own right. You know, you've got to make sure that you line up the typings correctly, and you actually have enough of the stuff to handle what you're expecting to see. So this is the kind of one you would probably need to tailor specifically per week to see what's up. And then shoutouts to Sableye. Oh, go on.
I was gonna ask Sai if you wanted to play. I think you'd probably be pretty favored.
Well, against what you brought this time, yes. If you can establish Espeon.
I don't really rely on the ability stuff, so
exactly.
If Espeon exists.
Yeah. You, as we found out, if you establish Espeon, you just win the game. So.
Well, I think I'm out for the night. I've had a headache brewing all day.
Oh dear. Yeah, that's totally fine as well. Understandable. Yeah, so I mean, most of my deck is relatively self-explanatory this time. I've obviously gone over it for my own stream, but really the big difference maker here, I guess, you can only use 1 Venusaur per turn. Even if you have multiple out, it still doesn't let you attach more than 2 energy at a time. So I figured, rather than going with all 3 of my Venusaur, I would go with the Blaziken in here as well to provide another avenue for acceleration. Because if you are constantly swinging for 80 every single turn with a Ray, and then establishing another threat in the background with the Blaze, that is very oppressive. And yeah, there's often not a lot that can really be done about that. So it helps a lot in terms of keeping up with the stuff here. And also, even if all of the other trade stuff had gone through with you guys trading for like Pepper getting Guardian stuff, yeah, there's no way I would have been able to like part with the Blaze in this round, because it's just too important for this deck.
Like, if I could get the second Blaze, it would have gone in here.
Mm-hmm.
So to be fair, I've got Gardevoir, I probably should have run them, because I would have felt a bit of a dick, take all the Psychic, then put it all into an anti-fire deck. Because this deck does actually do it. Like, what does fire do against elements if I'm killing their Rayquazas?
Yeah, but I mean, when you look at this deck, you can kind of see where most of the expected stuff I would have been like, yeah, I can probably do really well with it here. Muck is probably about the only issue for this one. when it comes to expected stuff, but again, it really wasn't something I was expecting to see played this time round, because like, look at it, it's not that impressive really, and it is very easy to stop if you just play one thing that is purple. So
yeah, it's allergic to purple.
I mean, what do you do if I play Wobbuffet? Right? I have
Wobbuffet just left.
I have 4 Wobbuffet. I have 4 Wobbuffet. What would you do if I even played one of those? Yes, you shut off the power so you can damage it, but you're not killing it in the same time frame as I'm getting attached to it, so I don't know.
It is doing 100.
ER2 and Prey, I guess, but like, that doesn't seem very, very good. Wob was actually in quite a few decks I was looking at.
I think that would be okay, to be honest. Like, because both decks need 3 attachments. One has ER2 and one doesn't. I think.
Well, the thing is, you just keep them on bench for as long as you need to.
So then you have to flip heads on reversal as well.
Yeah, that's true, but I don't know. As long as you can get a second muck out, I think it's okay. You start taking prizes pretty early. People in the games were throwing up little sacrificial dudes. So I think you do okay on the prize trade.
I think it's more just you don't have enough Pokemon at that point, All it takes is for me to KO 2 things and you have nothing, basically.
Yeah, if a muck gets prized, that's problematic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could say that.
How is this not bleeding a million mulligans?
I got like 2, I think.
Yeah, 2 on average. I am no statistician, but I imagine that is below average on the mulligan count for this sort of deck.
I believe a 4 of in an opening hand is 30% or so. I have a table saved for this.
Probably look it up somewhere.
40% basically. So expected value of 2 or 3 mulligans. Which is fine. Now that it's only 1 card, it's not a huge deal.
Yeah, I guess.
My deck wasn't doing anything to that kind of build because it's just what the hell. It's just exactly the opposite of what I'm trying to do.
You flip heads on agility every turn.
Basically. What else do I do? You have nothing for me to drag in.
I mean, you can't even drag in, so...
Yeah. Maybe that'll try and get 2-hit KO off with Shell gone. I did try that at one point, but got reversaled in.
I will say this would be a very hilarious deck to go against the Magma stuff with, because you disable Groudon's inhibitor at the start of the game. You do kill it in one shot though, so... But then again, it is not very hard for that Groudon to like, hit you down in 2 hits as well, so...
Yeah, you just send up other things first to get chip on it.
I don't know. I mean, I think this is another reason why the Magma deck isn't actually that good, but who am I to judge, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's probably good enough for draft at least. Jank is fun.
It was this week, I don't know. If I play against Sai, I probably would have broken the record, but it is what it is. Also, do we want to like either all go to Sai's layout for this? Oh no, for the spread, or all go to this layout? It hurts my brain to see like 4x15 and then 5x12.
I'm not budging because this is easily the best layout possible for this stuff, I think. I understand. I understand what you mean with it, because yeah, when Sai spreads his stuff out, it's like 5-12 instead of 4-15. I get what you mean, but there's no chance I'm budging off of this, because I think this is the best overall layout you can take for the stuff here.
Same, because also you got to think about larger numbers of cards when you're
I'm quite consistently going down most of the table as it is when I'm spreading out more of the sets later on. So,
true.
I mean, what I tend to do at the start of each set is I tend to try and I pull all of my draft cards out and then distill it down to what I think is actually worth a look for the round. So I end up with a best of for Pokemon at the moment. I think is just under 260 or something total, and the trainer energy is less than 200 right now because we don't have as many physically as we have done in the past. But yeah, that obviously gets increased with every set that we pull until rotation. But
let's see, you don't have Delcatty, right?
I do have Delcatty.
Do.
I have one.
So everyone has Delcatty except me? Is that right?
No, Leo didn't either, did he?
Leo has
one.
Oh, he does. Okay, then yeah.
There's a lot of Delcatty, statistically speaking, compared to what we could have.
Then yeah, I'm the only one with 2, and there is not a hope in hell you are getting one of those. And nobody else has got more, so you could literally trade me almost your entire collection and you wouldn't get it. It's not worth it in the slightest.
Cat is a damn good card, especially when he's on fire.
It's a damn good card, and it is a rare as fuck card.
I mean, no, I'm gonna put it bluntly. Why should I enable you to have even the absolute best of the meta for the deck stuff? I'm gonna just put it. I'm just gonna put it as it is because you put it to be this way at the start of the week as well. From a competitive standpoint, why on earth would I trade you something that would make your already best decks in format even better? Because yeah,
Agreed.
I think Guardian Blaze are the 2 best decks of this format, till the end of it. I do not think there is any deck that is overall better than them. Because Muck is too much of a meta pick. Again, as soon as something purple comes in, it's instant game over. So Muck in this form is too much of a okay. It's good because nobody bought the purple card, but as soon as one card comes in that's that color, your entire deck falls. So unless it's Xatu, I guess, because Xatu is bad.
Those plots, I guess, because it puts counters on instead of doing damage.
Yeah, but we already established.
Or Expedition Zam because it shuts off Silent, and you got to try and work Synchro Blast.
Oh, that's not hard. This thing has to do any damage at all. This thing has to have free energy on it, the same as you.
True.
So, what's it gonna do? 10 a turn plus the poison, I guess. But so maximum 30 a turn on your 100 HP. I don't know. I think you still win that, or you could just not evolve into Alakazam because I'm pretty sure the Kadabra is fine enough, right?
The Kadabras are fine, but they're bad at that. I think one's 20 confused and the other ignores weakness.
I think confusion against this thing would probably be a pretty good death knell, to be honest.
Yeah.
Which is why this Espeon is a bastard.
Exactly. You never even flipped the heads.
No, I did.
But if you had, it's just brutal.
Yeah, no, I flipped tails on it every time and it didn't matter because it's still just 40 damage for 1 energy every turn. And
I flipped 1 heads today.
Nice.
And it was for a reversal.
Oh, I definitely overperformed on that aspect. The other funny thing with the Espeon though is that this is boost energy compatible. So this could actually be played in non psychic / multi things as well, because you could just play a boost energy on it to get the energy crush for the turn and just use it for hitting weakness or punishing overextension on energy attaches. So I don't know. The Espeon is definitely really good, just in general. It just is a case of you've got to justify playing it, I suppose, which is hard to do in a lot of decks. But I mean, hey, if this green bastard is going to be coming in, then maybe it's worth it. Yeah. I might end up like hitching this men's one at some point just to play against it myself. I know I don't have the like the matchup knowledge per se on it, but I think this is probably, other than exactly Muck, this is probably the one thing this round that I was kind of nervous on, because
when it gets going, it can be oppressive. I build a brick, but that's because I'm probably forcing it when I shouldn't.
Yeah.
It probably wants second plays come for sure. But it would love a second cat. Like the problem with the way it draws that it brick. Oh, I think I just explode. That's how it works.
Speaking of cat, the reason I don't think this is just an auto loss matchup is because I can just charge up Delcatty instead. I could two-shot the Mence with that, and you can't actually kill me back. So, without the Strength Charm...
That's what the Strength Charms are for.
Yeah, exactly. You have to specifically get Strength Charm. And even then, I've weakened you to the point where Ray can kill you with just a 2 energy. Like, I can just discard
Did someone
one,
say continuous headbutt?
I mean, yes.
Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do in this deck, run a Linu line. It's just hard to find space for it when you're running Magnet Cat and Smartest.
Oh god, that Linux is amazing, I'm telling you. But no, that's the reason why I was like, okay, I probably still have a decent chance in this matchup, because I can just pivot to attacking with Delcatty instead, and you've got to find the additional like out for that as well.
The other out to Delcatty actually is Agility first, then Dragon Claw.
I mean,
Hope
sure.
for the heads.
Sure, but then that's still like sketchy, and I can always just warp point and damage something else anyway, right? Pretty sure most of your stuff here does not want to take a hit from Rayquaza.
It does not. Like Rayquaza in this deck versus Rayquaza is rocket target. Because I Oko it, it Okos most of me.
Yep. I know we're not actually going to play this one today, but I have one other thing I would like to actually bring out to show whilst I'm thinking about it here. Because I think
the deck I'm surprised you didn't bring.
Yeah, overall I thought the Rayquaza was just better, but maybe this would have actually had a slightly better matchup against the field looking at it. Because we have Flygon as the other one here.
Rainbow!
So this would be a rather intriguing game to play against Muck in its own right, because you still have the same issues of shutting down the Magnet Cat and whatnot, but Energy Shower isn't an ability, right? So what do you do if I actually pull that off, right? With Vibrava just being able to get free energy of like different types out as well, I can have a hand that has like 4 to 6 energy in it, even if you've ability locked us. And at that point, it's like, okay, I can't one-shot you, which is annoying, but there's a lot of really dangerous stuff that happens at that point, right? If I get that much energy in play, Magnetic Force is starting to threaten big numbers.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think it would be a good matchup, but it would have been better than the Venusaur yet. You know,
assuming you miss a rare candy, you're gonna spend like a turn quick charging, a turn energy shower, and then you still need to 2-shot.
Yeah, you'd have to set up the bench because Slimy Water 2-hit KOs the Flygon.
Yeah, like it's not ridiculous this format. Give it one format though, because you know what's in the next set, right? Double Rainbow Energy.
Oh, really?
No longer constrained by needing to attach twice in order to energy shower.
In Magma?
Yeah.
Really?
It's a rare,
cool.
But yeah, it's in Magma.
Let me get out the Magma set.
So obviously it doesn't help with the Flygon doing damage because it's like really bad for that because Flygon needs the basic energy. But if you're using Flygon as your accelerant, yeah. So nice, nearly crashing the server for it. If Flygon is being used as the accelerant in that setup, then it's just one attach, right? And you can even use it on the Vibrava so that you can quick charge with that one attach as well. So it's a much better setup engine for that. And also,
you also run the Salamence now, think about it, because it means that we're paying that water fire cost so much.
Yeah, it just means you've got free energy 50 damage, which is terrible.
It's 50 damage to anything I want.
It's literally a stage 2 cipher that doesn't hit anything good for weakness at that point. Fantastic. Anyway, yeah,
It
no.
goes to Rayquaza. Yeah, it's struggling for numbers as it is. It needs to hit hard.
Mm-hmm. But like double rainbow energy also kind of serves the purpose of just giving Magneton more fuel as well. So I think that would probably be the way in this like matchup against just pure muck, would be to try and maybe get like the quick charge up. As you're saying, this will probably take like 3 turns, but at that point, if you've got enough energy in play, all it takes about 10 total, but double rainbow energy is 2 at a time. Magneton is starting to one-shot Muck even without being able to recover energy, and Muck can't one-shot it back, so
that's true.
There's a definite route in Flygon with DRE, which is more than I can say for most decks, to be honest.
Neat.
So yeah, this was the other thing I was obviously kind of excited to look at, but then again, just the innate energy acceleration of the Venusaur kind of won out in the end, because I was like, well, that I can just keep doing turn after turn, you know.
Feel.
So yeah, but I think both decks are good though, for sure. You can't, I mean, it's the same with all decks of this sort of thing, right? You can open yourself up to being a little bit less consistent, but that's the tax of playing anything that isn't just a basic Pokemon, which, you know. I do have Mewtwo Magneton here, but I only have 2 Mewtwo. Maybe I could trade Leo for that, I don't know.
I'm not sure if I'm using my Mewtwo at this point. Well, will I still use it if I got Gardevoir?
I don't know, because you wouldn't want to Gardevoir to a Mewtwo, and if you're taking the turn to Energy Absorb at that point, that's antithetical to what the deck is doing, right?
It would just be giving it a more aggro edge, but it's not got enough follow-up, so...
Yeah, I'm not convinced. I know that there weren't any Mewtwo's played in any of the historical lists, but, you know, we've had, like, fucking, 17.5 years of insight at this point. We could easily say, you know, changing stuff that way, but I don't think Gardevoir is Mewtwo's home, to be honest.
I saw something that put Mewtwo in top 10.
Yeah,
it was towards the bottom.
It was at the bottom of it, yeah. Omnipoke's thing with it, but
is it a Gorbis deck?
It's with Gorbis, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
So my attempt at it this round would have been emulating that sort of thing, but using Magneton instead of Gorbis, right? Because Magneton does the same general idea of get a bunch of energy in play that does a ton of damage, and I pulled 4 of it, so I mean, that's obviously another sort of medical with it, right? They are 2 very good colors for this round. You know, purple and yellow, pretty much what you want for dealing with most of the stuff, you know?
So we find your arch nemesis, Cal.
Uh-oh.
T-Mac was Phil.
Oh no. Where is he?
This guy.
Oh, you've got the things next to us here.
He's rolling.
Oh no, he's gonna be fixated on it.
Rolling.
Ah, dear.
All the way down the hill. I'm still in the 4th area.
Nah. Yeah, so there's a lot of good stuff to talk about in the next set. Just before we end up doing that, though, I don't know when I drop frames and stuff on this one. Unfortunate. But before we get too much into that, I'm going to put a marker down to curb the stream stuff here for my recording. So, yeah, this next set's going to be kind of exciting. Only kind of, though, because it really just depends on if you can pull the top rarity. I'm not even going to say high rarity on this one because, no, I think the EXs are the only serious bit to consider here unless you get a full magma package, but we'll see. Anyway.
I don't understand